there is anime to discuss.
Yeah, there's a couple.
There is always anime to discuss.
That is also very true.
Yeah, we live in a good world where there is always anime to discuss.
We live in a good timeline. That's not true. We live in an okay at best timeline, but at least we live in a timeline where there's always anime to discuss.
We live in a timeline.
We live in a timeline. Return to time loop.
Return to timelessness.
Return to timelessness.
Anyway, that's Ian. I'm Alex. I'm just gonna jump right into it. 86.
86. I'm just gonna leap right into it.
So this was quite an episode.
We're down to like 4 people.
5. They have 5 of them left. And they got the final suicide mission. Also, I like that scene where Lena pulls out the previous logs from all other spearhead missions, and literally all of them are just mission complete, and all the missions are essentially suicide missions, like dive straight into the enemy like stronghold.
Yeah.
Things that would not be possible with how many members are left. Like no reinforcements, no supplies.
No support at all. Just send your 5 dudes on a suicide mission.
I do not understand the uncle. Like why he's always like, why, like he put her in charge of the suicide squad and then is all like, why is she asking me to send them support? Then why did you put her in charge of the suicide squad?
Yeah, you know your niece is a bleeding heart who sympathizes with these people. Did you wanna beat that out of her by putting her in charge of the suicide squad? I don't know. I don't know what your plan is.
And then her friend this episode just becomes awful.
Yes.
Yeah, because turns out her dad was the one that invented the para raids. Also, her neighbor is probably Shin as a kid.
That's what I was thinking too.
Because this is the world of coincidences.
There's a lot of fucking coincidences.
Who saved Lena when her helicopter went down?
Shin's brother.
Who lived next door to her friend? Shin and his brother.
Yeah. How much do you want to bet that the reason Shin can hear the ghosts is because he was one of the kids that Lena's friend's dad tested the para raids on? Like, that's.
I know. I think he was just Lena's friend, because she's like, yeah, next door was a kid and his older brother, and that's been a very specific thing with this series. These are the only brothers that are really ever relevant. It's all about the brothers.
It's all about the brothers.
They have a really strong bond.
2 brothers running from the Mexican Armada. And there's an asteroid. And aliens are invading. But it's about the brothers.
It's a story about the bond.
It's 2 brothers. It's just called 2 brothers.
And what it sounds like, though, Shin and his group are trying to do is they're going to go and destroy Shin's brother, which probably is going to put the entire robot drones into a sort of frenzy for a bit. And what he tells Lena is to get on the eastern side of the Empire, because apparently when that happens, shit's probably going to go down. So what I imagine is she's going to take that advice, go, and then all the other people that we've met in the city area are going to get fucked.
Yeah.
Because they're all assholes.
So fuck them.
Because they don't care to help in any way or even sympathize. Like the she mentions like the uncle or something of having like despair or whatever about it, and then he goes on this thing about hope and despair being the same, but he doesn't seem that much in despair.
No, he just seems like an asshole.
Like in this one, he goes, yeah, we have to kill all of them. Then that means we did nothing wrong.
Which is not how that works.
Yeah, that isn't how that works. It's like basically being like, well, it's not stealing if I kill the person I stole from.
That's not how that works. You have just upgraded your theft to murder. You have also stolen and murdered. I don't fully understand the plan, but part of me also doesn't fully understand the like rationalization of we need an ethical, the people wanted an ethical war where no one died. And it's like, I think the people would fucking understand if there's an army of unstoppable robots outside that like, yeah, we gotta send people to fight the robots. No one's like, man, no one should be dying while fighting this evil robot army.
Also, why didn't they make their own robot army? Because the technology clearly exists because these robots were made by another country.
Why
they just happened to fuck up.
They make their own robot army. That's a valid question.
Yeah.
There's some issues. I think we found the plot issues with this show.
But other than that, I'm really invested.
Yeah, I want to know I want to watch the people who have been assholes die.
Same. I want to see the city get attacked. Basically, if we don't get the city attacked by robots by the end of this, I'm going to be upset.
I mean, I feel like it's going to happen.
Because they need the boat to be rocked a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Like they don't have to get completely wiped out, but like they need like a wake up call moment. Like, oh, the robots are a threat.
Hey, this is real now.
This here is real.
I feel like it's going to happen next episode even.
I just want to know what she's going to do, because I also feel like it wouldn't be in character for her to flee.
I don't know, because at some point you got to kind of recognize like what's she going to do? Because if robots attack the city directly, she can't like fight them.
Unless she somehow gets on her parade thing, gets the 86s to come and help, and they'll beat the ones that come into the city, and then after it can be like, look at these 86s saved all of us.
I don't know if I would like that.
And then everyone's like, huh, these non-humans saved us? I guess they are human after all.
I guess they really were. Detroit become human.
Oh, David Cage. You creepy, weird man.
Game over states are a failure of the developer. That's a thing he said. And you can see it in his design philosophy.
They need to stop giving him money.
They really do.
Shut down Quantum Dream.
Can we? Can we crowdfund it? Can we pay David Cage to never make another game ever again?
When Elliot Page was Ellen Page, apparently David Cage was super creepy to them.
Yeah, I heard that.
Apparently David Cage showed, at the time, Ellen Page just an entire photo book or something he had of just Ellen Page pictures.
That's weird. That's
that is weird.
Why would you do that?
Because he's a weird man.
Who
didn't turn off like who basically, I think, just because at the period it was Ellen Page, so I'm just going to use that name.
Yeah.
Ellen Page basically said, don't put my like full like naked model into the game, and he was like, yeah, definitely, of course. And then he did anyway, and then of course it got like pulled from the data files or something.
David,
you weird Frenchie. He's French, right?
I think so.
You weird Frenchie.
You strange, just bizarre man.
David, stop making games.
David, go into
Actually,
hiding.
David, yeah, one, go into hiding, but stop making games. You clearly just want to make movies.
Yeah, actually, you know what? I think he might be able to make. Well, it would be pretentious as shit.
Yeah, but that's fine because most of Hollywood is pretentious as shit.
Exactly. We're used to that. It's more acceptable.
And it's like, oh, but he wants the illusion of choice. Black Mirror did a whole thing like that. They did a choose your own adventure thing on Netflix once.
I never checked that out.
I didn't either. Because unless it has like cartoon characters, I generally don't watch it. Because I'm a big man child.
And that's what we're here to talk about today. Hi,
Yeah.
This is the Protagonist Seat, hit international podcast.
Speaking of big man child, you know what I also watched?
What?
Shadow's House.
Edward is a big man child.
Apparently, we get introduced to other characters too in this. I guess Edward has some friends that are also dolls like him.
This is. We'll get to his doll status later because I have questions about that. But like, yeah, he's got 2 doll buddies that he just chills with, and I guess they're helping him behind the scenes.
He can turn into a shadow or something, so that's interesting.
Yeah, I don't know if he's a shadow that turns into a doll or a doll that turns into a shadow, or
Also, he seems to know something about one of the contestants aware that they're being watched, which is obviously Emilico, because she's the one that seems to like notice that stuff.
Yeah. She's weirdly observant.
Also, we learned that Rum and Shirley have never spoken to each other. Ever.
Rum had to give herself her name.
That is weird, because I'm pretty sure they've at least been... I don't know, it feels like they at least have been together for, like, going off the timeline, at least for Kate and Emilico. Maybe, like, about 3-ish weeks.
At least.
Yeah. Just imagine never speaking to someone that's supposed to be your face.
I like how Emilico kind of comforts her with, like, everyone else you see the soot they release when they get stressed, but Shirley never releases soot. So she's probably just very satisfied. And I'm like,
Also,
there might be something to that.
Louise's trap to get her out of was like the easiest thing. Just use a ladder. Good thing there's one nearby.
Yeah. Make a rope ladder using these supplies. And I mean, we know that Edward balanced it so that the people he wanted to fail got like fuck you hard challenges.
I feel bad for Ricky.
He's just still in there. Or Patrick is still in there.
I feel bad for Ricky because now he's stuck with both Louise and Lou.
And Louise is like, you can go.
Yeah, you could. I don't care about you. I love how he looks up too, and like the face Lou is making at him is just like one of pure disgust because she's trying to copy Louise's face.
Lou is very good as a face, and it's just perfect. Like really, it's just perfect.
But yeah, Emilico looks like she's finally about to find Kate.
And Kate's like her cage, we find out it's the more soot she releases, it breaks the chains to make it like fall over. So that's another hey fuck you challenge right there.
Yeah. So she has to not be stressed out, which is probably difficult. Oh, but Lou notices that everyone admits soot in a different way, which is interesting.
Yeah. I
Kate
noticed
goes straight up. Louise kind of curls. John kind of like spats everywhere. And Patrick releases it into a cloud.
I noticed...
And as the aforementioned Shirley doesn't do any.
Yeah, because she's weird. Maybe just nothing bothers Shirley.
Shirley is literally always, nah, I'm good.
I'm good, fam. Shirley doesn't give a fuck.
She's sewn to a chair and still, like, not releasing any soot.
I still don't fully like, that'd be a good challenge for the shears, because you could just cut it, I guess. But I want
I
to know
also
how
like
they're
how
going to
Patrick's just sitting there sniffing the flower.
Patrick's just chilling. I don't know. He's just chilling. I wonder how they're going to get him out of the box.
And I'm curious to know what the deal is with Edward. He's obviously a living doll, but he also can use shadow powers.
Yes, he seems to kind of bridge both worlds, which I think kind of explains why he doesn't have a Shadow Master.
Or if he does, they just haven't mentioned it.
Yeah. What if they share the same body?
That would be interesting.
Yeah. His Shadow Master's ability is to, like, take over the body of someone else.
But yeah, we'll see.
Hmm.
I feel like this thing is going to take up the meat of the show. This debut.
I think so. And I'm okay with that because I think it's interesting to watch. Everyone's kind of coming into their own, and I like all the characters.
This week on Higehiro was really melodramatic.
Yeah.
I kept thinking the brother was going to show up during the summer festival because that's just, kind of how those things work. It's
Me too.
We are having a great time. Hello, I am here to ruin the good time.
I kind of figured that would be the case too, and I was a little surprised when it wasn't.
Yeah, he shows up at the end.
At the apartment. Just like, hey, what's up?
That's probably going to look really bad, though, because they're both, like, waking up, like, ugh.
In their PJs.
Yeah.
Not great, but not really, like...
I'm going to 100% guess the reason she ran away from home is because they probably tried to do, like, an arranged marriage or something. Like, oh, you're from a rich family, you're going to marry this CEO's son.
I could get down with that.
That's always what it is.
I think that holds water. I'm gonna back that theory.
Next week I'm calling it. I feel bad for Mishima.
Which one's he?
Mishima, that's the girl.
Oh yeah. The Kohai.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's lost. And
she basically knows it too. She's like, he's into the high schooler.
He's into the high schooler and the boss. And
basically,
neither of those.
It's either going to be older than him or younger than him, I guess. Can't be right in the middle.
Can't be. She's lost. So instead, she's going to be the support role. And yeah, it's hard to watch because you feel bad.
I hope we resolve this in this show, because if it ends with they're really light novel or something, I'll be like, no. No.
Yeah.
No,
that would drag the ending down pretty hard.
I don't feel like this story needs to be that long. There should not be another arc after the brother. The brother should be the final thing, because what other stuff do you have to do at that point?
I genuinely don't know. But that's
like the last obstacle.
The story's been going on for like 5 installments. Hold on.
Well, light novels tend to be pretty short, though.
That's true, but
the first volume probably only covers like the first 2 or 3 episodes.
Yeah, you're probably right. I hope there is resolution as well. That would make me very pleased. Yeah,
I think it will be. Otherwise, I'm just going to be like, thumbs down, waste of time, don't watch.
Don't bother.
I'm going to give it my Siskel Ebert thumbs down.
Yeah.
But you know what I will give a thumbs up to? Zombieland Saga. This was a really interesting episode.
Yeah.
Because what I'm wondering is Now, this has got me wondering, is that the current Tatsumi?
I believe it is.
Because everyone else obviously is just just a little a cheeky reference, essentially. Which I like stuff like that, where it's like, hey, it's this. I like episodes and shows where it's like, hey, we're doing a time period episode, but everyone is running around just as different time period versions of themselves.
Yeah.
Like the cop guy is still a cop. He's just a Meiji era constable.
Who's somewhat better at his job in the Meiji era. So, like, good on him.
It's not as lax now.
It's because he doesn't have any horse racing tracks to go to.
There probably was some sort of, like, gambling like that.
I'd imagine there should be. But in any case, he's not doing it. He's actually policing like a true cop.
Yeah.
But I think that's Tatsumi, because it sounds like Tatsumi.
I would have at first thought he was just a guy that was kind of like Tatsumi, but then the grandpa there is the dude from the bar, which could have also just been a cheeky thing. But then they talk about his zombie, like the grandpa. He mentioned something about his grandpa having abilities to like create zombies, and I'm like, huh.
And the fucking dog is there?
Yeah, the dog was the moment I was like, oh, that's gonna be him. Also, this would explain why Yugiri is even there in the idol group, because why would you go? How would you have any connection to raise someone from the 1880s? And especially, why would someone from the 1880s even be that well preserved?
Yeah, and how would you even find him?
So I think Yugiri was the first zombie.
I believe you are correct.
But also means, does that mean Tatsumi is a zombie?
I don't know.
Because he can get into water, actually, and bathe, so I don't think he is a zombie. Unless he's a lich or something, and that has a whole different connotation than what we think it does. Like, you're not a skeleton corpse thing.
That's what I was going to wonder, because this is a young Tatsumi, too. He doesn't look exactly the same. He looks younger. So, like, at some point, he had to have stopped aging. And I feel like that's the point when he became a lich. He just, like, stopped aging.
But we do see a scene in the first season where he's at high school with Sakura. Remember?
Yeah. Shit.
Unless he has, like, magic reincarnation powers or something. I don't know. We're probably going to find out next episode, but since it's part 1 and part 2, but that's a big it's a big part of it. I also like how the clothing he wears is the same color scheme as his manager uniform.
Yeah. I think that's just another little pinpoint that goes into confirming that, like, this is the same dude.
But yeah, it seems like he's trying to get everyone to follow his Saga dream, and he ends up his friend goes at the end of the episode and leaves like a little note to some homeless looking dude, and then the dude runs off, and it basically says target is more support, requesting further orders. So I'm assuming this dude works for like the Meiji government.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
He's like, this dude's trying to bring about rebellion.
It was all fun and games when everyone was just kind of believing that he was crazy, just some weird dude trying to incite rebellion. But then Yugiri like cleans up his flyers and makes them, like, she phrases them better. So now he's starting to get people who are like, hey.
Yeah, and he's probably afraid, like, oh man, if the legendary courtesan is helping him, he might actually do it.
Shit. The government might have to get involved.
Looks like the government's getting involved.
Yeah, I suspect that she is gonna die next episode. And
she would have
she's
to
gonna
be
the first one.
She would have to maintain the current appearance that she has.
Yes. Yes.
But yeah, I didn't think, because we've gone through the longest without getting any backstory for Yugiri, and turns out her backstory is the most important.
It kind of makes sense that they would hold off for a bit on, like, this is the clincher backstory.
I liked how we see a Tay during that period, and she's like not crazy or anything, but she still doesn't say anything. She just goes like, "Oh,"
Yeah,
just a sound.
that made me laugh.
And last up on the list is Iruma.
We're getting there.
They finally flesh out the some of the other classmates this week, or at least in what their abilities are. The part with Jazz was cool, though.
I like Jazz, I think.
I do. Yeah, I like Jazz. Out of all the other classmates, I feel like he has also had like him and the gamer dude I like.
I memed pretty hard on Jazz, but we get some Jazz development, and now I'm jazzed about Jazz.
I also like how the wares are like an inhibitor. Like, they clack, which makes it harder to steal. So he actually wears the rings specifically to make stealing harder. It's like putting on weights. That
dude, him and his rings is fucking Rock Lee and his ankle weights.
Yeah. It literally is.
I feel like that character is always the coolest. Is like the one who's, I'm too good. I need to hamstring myself.
Watching Jazz makes me want to play a D&D Thief. That's what I'm going to do. Only you'll know, but like I'm going to make a tiefling thief, and you'll know, but the rest won't.
We need more good thieves in our campaigns.
Well, yeah, because the one guy who always plays thief does it because he specifically wants to like break the game with his like bonus action with items.
Which you can't do. Because there are no items good enough to break the game.
Yeah, the items kind of suck. It's like, oh, I'm going to throw ball bearings everywhere. Or caltrops.
They walk around them. Because you're doing it in an open field and not an enclosed space.
Yeah, we're in a field. We're not in a cave. Or a dungeon hallway.
That's the other thing. He does it in just all the time in the worst places. I'm going to put down my bear trap.
It's like, okay, everyone in the middle of combat looks as you put down a bear trap in this open field. They specifically go out of their way to not step in the bear trap. They go around it. Why didn't they walk into the bear trap? Because you just put it down right in front of them in broad daylight.
The sun is out. It's not even cloudy.
Just imagine you and me are getting into like a fist fight or something, and you watch me put down a bear trap, and I stand behind it like I'm just like, all right, now come at me.
I would pay to watch that MMA fight. My martial arts style is bear traps.
Two bear traps on a chain, and you like swing them around.
That feels like a Resident Evil enemy.
It would be like the most hillbilly like farmer too, who got like messed up with like some sort of bio mutation.
Welcome to the family, son.
But yeah, Jazz is cool. The gamer dude's cool.
He's very cool. His power's cool too. He can like take away people's senses. I understand now why he sent like people to the hospital with that last game he played with them.
Yeah. Also, I like how they use different methods. Like, for example, the teacher that's really into Caligo Sensei, they have Jazz steal his notebook, his just daily planner, and basically coerce her to, hey, if you give us the stamp, we'll give you the notebook.
Done. I'll make sure I get this back to him right away. And then she reads.
Just uses some good strategy. Basically, he uses everybody in the way that they're strongest at to go get the stamps.
Yeah, he has, except for one, because Sabnok goes to get the stamp from the teacher he attacks in like episode 1. Like,
I'll never give you my stamp unless you can defeat me.
Because the teacher is such a good healer that he can't even take damage.
But it still hurts.
But Sabnok apologizes. He gets down into the Dogeza.
And then the teacher understands. He's like, huh, I never thought I would see this from you. Sounds like you found a good rival. And he gives him his stamp.
And that's good shit. And then there's like the freaking the herbalism teacher who just wants help with her plants.
I like how, too, they note that, like, the janitor asks Iruma for help, and he still can't say no to anybody, but he's just like, what? I'm busy. Fine, whatever. Let's just get it done.
Let's get this done quick. That's how intrinsic that one trait is.
And I love the part where Sullivan's marching to his room. He's like, well, I was too shocked this morning to do anything, but now it's finally time as his grandfather to set him straight. And he opens the door, and Iruma's like, hey, Grandpa, could you please stamp this for me? He's like, done, 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 done.
He stamps it like 100 times. You gotta use what resources you have.
I like how he's like, hey, Iruma, since you became a bad boy now, can I take a picture of you? And he's like, huh? And then after, like, he's like, yeah, you know what? No, never mind. That's probably a dumb idea. And then he goes over and he takes a selfie with the whole family.
Yeah. He's still a good lad, but he's a good
boy. He's just, for some reason now, rough around the edges.
He's a good bad boy. He's a bad good boy.
And he even wants to do it because he thinks his class is amazing, and he wants to prove that they're amazing. They're all talented demons. The lion guy is just stupid looking, though. I'm sorry.
The lion guy is stupid looking, which is weird because he's supposed to be the like academic genius.
Yeah, and all he does to get the teacher's seal, they basically just stay up all night talking about history.
Yeah. I did think it was kind of funny how they had the thirsty on Main Owl go after the other academic.
Oh, yeah, that one was the one time where I'm like, hey, that's a pretty good one. Where he's like, I'm an academic. I know everything. I couldn't learn anything from a student. He's like, yes, but what if we talk about things that are a different type of academia? And he whispers in his ear probably something about, like, I don't know, boobs or something.
He whispers the language of love. And the dude just instantly stamps it. He's like, let's go.
Let's talk about damn titties.
Fill me in, Chief. What do they feel like?
Not that I imagine the owl has ever known what they felt like in any legitimate sense.
Yeah, he doesn't have hands.
Or more so, just like, I don't think anyone is allowing him to do that.
That's also fair.
But yeah, the last one they need now is the most difficult one thus far.
Yep, they got everyone else's except for Kalego's.
I like how earlier he's like, hey, do you want to just stamp this as my familiar? Like, you want to just stamp it with your little bird foot?
No, I'm not going to do that. I will be stamping nothing with my little bird feet. I
really like Kalego.
He's awesome. He's a
I also
great
really
character.
like how in the previous episode, like Iruma gives him like a yada yada when Kalego voices Jotaro.
Oh,
the character that's his fucking catchphrase.
That's his literal catchphrase.
He did the man's own catchphrase, Adam.
That's good, like, homage writing. I like that. I respect the choice to not, like, force him into familiar mode to stamp it, but to instead, like, earnestly try and go for it. Because I respect that. Can't always go the easy way.
Yeah. I do want to see how they'll get him to give him the seal.
Me too. Because that's going to be the hard one. But I guess we'll just have to wait till next week.
Yeah. And if you want to watch it next week with us, if you're on YouTube, hit that subscribe button.
Yes. If you're on all our other... Do it. Kill him, Madigan. Do it. If you're on all our other pod platforms, that's iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, Deezer, iHeartRadio. Deezer nuts. Oh, one of my favorite VTuber nuts jokes I've seen is someone was like, hey, all answer your question if you can tell me who made the song Radioactive. And after chat goes Imagine Dragons, they just come back with Imagine Dragon D's nuts. I like that one. But anyway, Imagine Dragon D's nuts all over your subscription feed so that we appear there every time we upload.
Yeah. And we're on all the pod platforms. We're on social media, Twitter, Facebook, at Protagonist Seat.
Easy to find, just clickety-clackety search up in the search bar.
Yeah, all the links are there.
It is. It's all in the description below. You know, we try to keep it easy. If you like our OP, it was done by a fellow named Popskyy. Guess where his information's going to be? You'll never know. Wait till next week to find out.
We encrypted it.
We encrypted it. Instead, you're going to have to go on a month-long ARG to find out the information.
Yeah.
But anyway, that
sucks for you.
That's all we got this week. Thanks for sticking around. We hope to see you next week. Class dismissed.
Bye-bye.